So my next project here is to refurbish the whole action and then regulate it. So hopefully everything will be smooth and easy to move when it's in the piano and hitting the strings. First thing I gotta do though is see if I can improve the felt, like the bushings here, so that the keys don't move back and forth so much. So there's bushings under here and there's bushings up here, and they're all old and loose. They have this stuff called Profelt, and it's supposed to puff up and lubricate the felt so that you don't have to replace them. I mean, these still look pretty red. They might be 100 years old, but they might still be savable. So I'm going to try this first and see if I don't have to replace them, which will be a much bigger, more painful job. So first I've got to take off this rail so I can pull the keys up. I could also pull this off since I'm going to pull that off anyway. But we'll see. So I pulled off the action so I can pull up all the keys, and while I've got this thing off and I'm puffing up felt anyway, I might as well try puffing up these. That's where the capstans sit, on the bottom of the whipping, and they're a little dirty and a little pitted. Well, I mean, there's a divot here where the capstan fits on them, so they could be puffed up. And over here, the capstans, they are a little pitted. They need to be polished up and lubed a little bit, so I'll do that too. And then now I can just pull up the keys. Easy as that. They're all numbered, so I know where they go. So I need to measure how thick these are so I can put the right size of caul in here so that they will fit properly back over those, and the same with the bottom. Now I could order some cauls, and you know, they come in a whole box and they're kind of expensive, so I'm probably gonna use my 3D printer and make my own. Why not? So you see, before I had tried to make the keys move less by turning these sideways, but that's not good. You want to keep them straight. So, and I'm also going to adjust the height of the key drop here, and also how high the key sits with these while I'm at it. I had already done these before once, 4 years ago, so it's not too bad. Usually if you get an old piano and you pull up all the keys, there's all sorts of crap under here, paper clips, dimes, and that sometimes obstructs the keys. Looks like that felt's kind of dirty back there too, and all the keys could be brushed off. Here's the felt on the back of the keys. It doesn't really look like it's shrunk too much, so I don't know why that would be a problem. So here I am I'm using this stuff, Profelt, on my bushings on the keys, and then I made these on the 3D printer. I'm making more of them right now, to put in their calls. They put in there like so after I put the Profelt on, and the Profelt puffs them up, and you just let it dry overnight with one of these in it. So I've just done these. I did these last night and let them dry overnight. So I'll pull one out. And you can see that it's puffed up a little bit, so it'll make the bushing a little tighter on the pin. And these I have to do now, and then I have to catch up everything on both sides. These were just the test ones last night. So what I got to do is take one of these. Oh, that's right in the shadow, huh? Okay, let me move it over. There we go. So I have the Profelt. I've sucked it up in my little syringe here with a nice big needle. So I just put a little on there. Let it get well soaked in. Make sure it's all wet. And then I put one of these in. And then I let it dry overnight. And then the next day it should be puffed up and dried out. So should be ready now. I have to do the rest of this side on all these, and then all the other sides. So I'm going to need a lot of calls, so I'm going to be making those today. I'm working my way down as I go. Okay. So I took all the keys off of the key bed and realized how dirty it is just after 4 years, so I'm going to have to take this outside and brush it all off, get all the dust off of it. I'm also going to make these a little higher so that the keys will have a little more to teeter-totter on, so that they'll pop up higher in the back and maybe go down lower in the front. Okay, I've gone through and put Profelt on all of the keys, on the felts, on the balance rail, and at the end of the keys. And it has puffed them up pretty well, but I tried a few of these and they weren't as tight as I was expecting. They still moved a little bit. So, but they are better than they were before. And some of them I didn't put the calls in on the top, and that might have been a mistake because they puffed up a little too much, but they will definitely be tight. I don't want them necessarily too tight, but there's others that look like they're going to be good. So we'll see. If they're too tight, then I can do it over. And now I gotta wait for them all to dry, and then I will be able to put them on the back on the action. I went through and lubricated all the pins with silicone, and the Profelt is silicone So they all should be super slick and work very well. That's what I'm hoping. Okay.